A short little Stephen King book behind the 1985 movie Silver Bullet is Cycle the Werewolf, though I don't know why they changed the name, probably to make it sound more interesting than the title of the book. But I've read the book, so here I am talking about it, and maybe by the time I'm writing this, as a bonus, I'll add a review to the movie. Well, let's see what happens in Tinker Mills. I'm in Tarker's Mill. It's a short 1983 horror story by Stephen King with illustrations by Barney Wrightson. 2. Each chapter tells a story in months happening in the town of Tarker's Mills, Maine, as a werewolf stalks the town every full moon. This is also the shortest novel written by Stephen King with 127 pages. So my thoughts are just gonna be like every thought coming from the Stephen King stories. Even for his short stories, the way how the story is told through months in Tucker's Mills makes it interesting to follow. And that they keep the events that are happening when the next kill happens, although it is not really explained about how the werewolf came to be, and if they are more it to talk about with Lo being the werewolf, and how it says about these flowers that he picked that caused him to become the werewolf is interesting. The rest of it is just the same Stephen King fashion. We can all agree with love, the sex, and the drugs. Yep. But let's talk about the illustrator, Barney Wrightson. His illustrations of the book really gave a good and really captive story, although when talking about character Marty Clawsaw, he is in a wheelchair, and how Stephen describes him in an electric wheelchair differs from the illustrations as a regular wheelchair. It's not like I don't like that. In fact, I really don't care. I'm pretty sure I'm only saying it like that just to make a dislike, but who really cares of adding dislikes in their reviews unless they actually mean it, right? But so far, that's my thoughts on the book. Do I recommend you read Cycle the Werewolf? I would say that if you're getting into Stephen King and knowing his stories are pretty long, to get into them, I do recommend to tackle the short stories, even if they can be a little weird, like Trucks. I guess, I don't know. Christine was better, but this should be the first one to start with, since it's short and it also has a movie. And speaking of which, let's get on to Silver Bullet. So The Silver Bullet is the movie based on Cycle the Werewolf. It does follow the book, taking place in Tucker's Mills, Maine. But there are some things that have been changed. Obviously, this is a movie, so it should be expected. They changed the characters' names in one particular, being the uncle's name, which is now Uncle Red, and Marty's sister is called Jane and not Kate. And boy, let me tell you, this 1985 film is so gruesome. It kind of made me sick a little, but I watched it anyway. And the movie gets its title Silver Bullet, not because of the silver bullets used to kill the werewolf, but Uncle Red made a sweet ride for our protagonist Marty. Since Marty is handicapped, he makes Marty a wheelchair motorcycle called Silver Bullet. So that's nice, I guess. And so there is narration, which is apparent the story has been being told by Marty's sister, who didn't really do much in the book, but go in part of catching the werewolf with Uncle Red and Marty, as the werewolf, aka Rev Lev, tries to kill Marty for revenge for shooting him with a firecracker, and obviously what murders to silence him. But yep, that didn't work, and he dies that for good. And so I have to say, the parents of Marty and his sister Jean, they are obviously the most oblivious parents, but are jerks to Jane when she tells on Marty, but that's just how it is when having that. You know what I mean. I'm too lazy to say it. And I probably already forgot what it meant. And that is my review on Cycle the Werewolf and Silver Bullet. I hope you liked this review, and if you want to tell your own take on it, leave it in the comments. Anyway, this is the end, so see ya around.